Or you could also say Sayana, Kada, and Lena, and we're going to talk to you about cosplay. So we've all been cosplaying for a while, but let's start off with the introductions. And so I will hand the microphone to my darling, Katrin.
Thank you, darling. We have the pointer. Okay, so my name is Kada, or Miss Cord. Kada is my real name. Miss Cord is the nickname I go by. I'm cosplayer since 2013. My first cosplay was also, first cosplay, first con, it was GalaCon here. I'm 29 years old. My favorite pony is Celestia. Yeah, I love prop mappings. Props are my thing. But I really don't like sewing, and finishing edges on fabric is a pain. It's a pain. Should I go further? Oh, okay. We're going with first cosplay. It was Fluttershy on GalaCon 2013. And my least finished cosplay, it's Raftalia from Rising of the Shield Hero. It's anime. And then I will go over to Mimic.
Hi, I'm Mimic, or Rarity. I cosplay since 2014. My first cosplay was at the Konichi in Kassel. I'm 25 years old. My favorite pony is Sunset Shimmer, as you can see. My favorite skill is Wick Styling, and my least favorite skill when it comes to cosplay is spending the ton shit of money that cost the cosplay stuff. Yeah, my first cosplay was was the Discord one on the Konichi, with no wig, no makeup skills, no nothing, just a skirt and a cut in half, like things. My favorite cosplay is the Luna cosplay. This is a different dress than I wore yesterday to the ball, but I really love that character, and I also remade the wig. Yeah, now the last one of us will introduce herself. Welcome, Lena.
Hi, so I'm Lena, or also Kiado Cosplay on Instagram, or Spambot, as some more of the people of the Brony community know me. I've been cosplaying since 2013. I think I started about 5 months before you did, but we met at GalaCon 2013 first. I'm also 29 years old. My favorite character is, of course, your queen, because why choose a princess when you can choose a queen? And favorite skill is sewing, and my least favorite skill is wig styling. It drives me crazy every time. My first cosplay is Pinkie Pie from You Gotta Share, You Gotta Care. You can see James running in the background there, actually. That was at my first convention. And my favorite cosplay, I couldn't decide, so I picked my favorite pony cosplay, which is Chrysalis, the queen, of course. And I think my dog looks very regal in that picture. And my favorite non-pony cosplay is Harley Quinn, but I've also been wearing it at GalaCon. So, so let's get started with the topic. So, to hear about cosplay, to Kada.
All right. I'm covering the part about planning and designing phase of cosplay. First off, cosplay is for everybody, every creature, every pony. If you want to cosplay, if you like a character, just go for it. It doesn't even need to be self-made or something. You can commission it, you can just store-buy it, you can make it yourself, but on the roundabout thing, cosplay is just about dressing up and the play and being the character and appreciating the medium it's coming from. So, planning. They say planning is half the work, and they're pretty much right. But I'm not talking about the structure of your cosplay, because that can vary a lot about your project, but it's more about saving effort and money. Work smart, not hard. When you are planning a cosplay, especially if you're a beginner, the best thing you can do to save money and save work is planning enough time so you can react on sales, can go to Etsy, you can go to AliExpress, you can buy a lot of crafting materials cheap, they have time to arrive, and you can save a lot of money. It also gives you the time to commission, it also gives you the time to watch tutorials for the cosplay you're making, because most of the time someone has done it before, or something else that you can nitpick your creations out of it and can make a patchwork. Design. I was thinking, since we are talking about mostly pony-related designs, there's like 3 types, I would say. The one is fursuit. I never made a fursuit before, so let's go to the other 2. And I said the most basic is humanoid and human-like. Humanoid, you can see it. It's like you're adding wings, you're adding ears, horns, hoofs. You can also go half fursuit and put a head over your face. But you can also just go human-like, add the characteristics, but leave the non-human traits, and you're also good to go. Key elements. So, best example I could say would be Rainbow Dash and Fluttershy. Both are Pegasi, but they're really easy to distinguish. They have a different color of mane, they have a different shape, they're both Pegasi, but still, the whole color theme and attitudes are so different that it's more about the characters itself. So, I'm losing my thread here. Color scheme, cutie mark, clothing style. Yeah, exactly. Sorry. Now I'm back into it again. Since most ponies don't wear clothing, or they have clothing that doesn't really work on the human body, we have to think a bit about what would suit them. I mean, rarity is obviously more the chic stuff. You can go more sporty for Rainbow Dash. But overall, you just gotta dive into the character and think, what could suit them? Where can I dive in and can put it on myself? You can also do a total mashup, go steampunk or horror, go Dr. Hyde. But that also works. Everything's allowed. But if you want to be easily recognizable and you're a beginner, it's easier to stay in a classic theme and go with the hardcore stuff, and then you can go from there. The meme is a joke, you're not a noob if you start simple, but it's basically that. If you choose your cosplay and say, I go with the color of mane, I go with the color of the fur, and I go with a little touch, you're pretty good. You're recognizable as rarity, and it goes. But then you add a little bit of touch, like the glasses she's wearing, you're even better. Then you could also use props they're actually using on the show, like a certain bag, a certain accessory, like the chain. And you're gonna make the day of a diehard fan because he's recognizing all these little details and touches and say, oh, yes, this. I put 3 examples to explain the whole design, finding the key element stuff. And this is the first one, it's Cozy Glow. Colors, light pink, blue, and cream. She has the cream bow, she has the big curls. But most importantly, you go from the color scheme and then the vibe. You could put a spandex suit on her, but she's a little girl that doesn't really fit. So I was going for the innocent vibe. I was going for I'm cute, I'm fluffy, I'm bouncy, I'm a little kid, I can do what I want. And was diving in from there, adding the cutie mark. The pictures are not that good because I forgot my belt and stuff like that, but I think you get it. I'm super nervous, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was also thinking, since I was expecting more of a male crowd, what could a male Cozy Glow? Oh! Thank you, darling. What could a male Cozy Glow like? Going back. I was looking up the word in English, and they say it's dungarees. I know it as Latzhose. I mean, basically go like a pinkish version from Buttons, from Button's Adventure, I think, like the boyish little boy vibe, and a little more free, and I think that could fit. Never seen a male cozy before, to be honest. Then Daybreaker. Daybreaker's theme is basically Celestia on fire. I was taking some of the changes, because when you look at Daybreaker, she has this helmet is like thundery and sparkly, and flames are her fame. I don't really like it. It looks kind of like a bad DC villain. I really didn't like the design, so I said, frick that, and I would change my helmet so it would fit. I also brought the helmet with me. Also, she has a little armor, And I wasn't quite sure what to use as clothing, so I thought, more armor, more of it. And I will cover that part later, but I also choose the armor because late medieval Gothic plate, it's made for practice. You can sit in it, you can lie down with it, you can actually, historically swim in it. So I was thinking, I could also go with Warhammer armor, but that is made for practice. So if I take the work, I just go dive in this. Personal touch was the Gothic plates, was changing the flames and the pole axe. I was, ooh, god damn. Just to go with the whole medieval theme and go in the color scheme and keep it that way. But what could a May Daybreaker look like? I was thinking maybe if you don't want to go that heavy on armor, you could go like Sombra, King Sombra, get a long cape, get it in like fiery colors, and just add like shins or arm armor. I think that could work pretty well if you don't want to cover your whole body with armor because it's hot. It's really hot, and it's uncomfortable. Let's be real here. But also, I was thinking since we also like on the whole kingdom, royalty, emperor theme, a Roman toga could also go very well. I think I saw a Celestia in a Roman toga and Princess Molestia in this. So I thought that could also go well. And on last cosplay contest yesterday, we could also see the Byzantine king, I think it was. You saw it, that looks rad. And it's also pretty easy to wear. It's usually linen, it's great for summer. Actually, I think I might want to do this someday. My last example is Pinkie Pie from Lena. So what I really love about this, it's not just a Pinkie Pie costume and just thrown some steampunk onto it. It's really incorporated. When you look at the Googles, they're really big. It's not just like store-bought Googles. So she made it cartoonish and made it really fit into the style. And also when you look at the corset, you can see she brought the colors of her cutie mark into it. And also her cutie mark is embroidered on the pattern of the skirt itself. And another example from the personal touch that just really buys it and sells it is the party cannon. I don't know if you were there, it was 2015? 14? The cannon actually worked. She had little balloons and confetti in it with a rubber band, and she could shoot confetti and balloons. It was amazing. So not just, like I said, she had the color theme, she had the classic wig, she had the pink, she had the blue and the yellow, but also she just brought it together and really sell it. I think I could see a steampunk Pinkie just like that in the show. Yeah, what could look a male Pinkie Pie like? We could keep it in the steampunk and dieselpunk theme. I mean, that's a style that looks dashing on males. This is just amazing. But also you should just go with a suit. That's really fancy and it's kind of hot. But you can also go with like crazy patterned shirts. I mean, who else could wear it like that unless it's Pinkie or cheese sandwich? It's perfect for them and it's funny. And I mean, most cons are in summer, let's be real. That will also fit very well. So, you got all the designs, you got all the works, you have an idea, you have the materials, but there are a few more things you have to dive into just to not die on the convention. You can look pretty, you have the prettiest shoes, but the average con lasts about 5 to 8 hours. You gotta survive that. And the most important thing is that you don't get hurt and you don't lose the joy of it. Oh, no, I have to go back. I wasn't quite sure. So I thought, ask yourself a few questions. The first one, can you sit in your design? And I know that sounds stupid, but I've seen so many really, really good cosplays on Comic-Con and stuff and saw them walking around, and they couldn't sit down. They couldn't just sit down, and you don't want to spend 8 hours on your feet. I mean, we do it at work, but that's something else. That's the first part. Then, can you see in your design? There's like near automata with a blindfold over your eyes. Then there's Goblin Slayer with a full visor helmet. You can't see that well. And Also, when you go to contact lenses, if you have cat eye lenses or the ones that make your pupils look white for zombies or scary stuff, looks amazing. I wore them once. You can't see. You're practically blind. And that's cool for photo shoots. That's also cool for like acting and stuff. But when you're walking around on the con, you want to see the con, you want to see the people. You don't want to stumble over your own feet. So keep that in mind. It's also pretty, sounds stupid, sounds simple, but still, if you can manage, wear the costume once fully before you're going to the con. You can see, it's twitching there. This is a little too tight. Actually, I can't see that well. That lash glue is killing me. Maybe you have an allergic reaction or something like that. So try stuff out. It just helps you with having a good time. And the last one, can you go to the toilet in your design? I know, but try to get on the toilet in armor is quite the feat. Also, fursuit, you have to get out of the fursuit, I suppose, but also like designs with tails, especially in the brony fandom, in the furry fandom, you have tails, usually. Keep that in mind, or wings. You just have to go through doors. You have to sit down, and the toilet cabinet is quite small. Keep that in mind, as stupid as it sounds. If you got those 3 questions down, and you say, I think I can manage, then I'm pretty sure you will have a good time at the convention, at least from the physical part. And last, if you love it, put a pocket on it. As I said before, the average con lasts 5 to 8 hours. You have stuff to carry. Money, cards, your phone, medication, water, maybe some snacks if it's really hot. You need those. You need those bags. Also, at this point, I want to point out, this hammer is not just for show. You can carry stuff in it. This is good design, good design. On that note, I also want to say, like you can see in some of the examples, you don't have to make everything yourself. You can like sew the whole dress, you can make the wig and everything, but when it comes to bags, bags are simple. Bags and pockets are really, really simple. You can see it that well, but this white bag, I have that like 5 years, I'm using it since 5 years, and every time I make a new cosplay and need a tiny bag where my phone can fit in, I just throw another paint coat over it. On the Raftalia cosplay, it's usually, currently it's black, and it's also there. On Daybreaker, it's white. You can also just throw another layer of fabric onto it. Just reuse them. It would be kind of stupid to always make new bags, always make new stuff, because once you get into cosplay, once you had a little taste of it, you want to do more, and your apartment will flow over. So trying to use stuff is not just good for the environment and good for your space. You're also saving money, often also time. If you're using like the same type of belt, you can always use the same bags. It's pretty neat. You can also hide bags, like on the skirts, when you sew in a hidden pocket. This is also, I think this is in the neck. So bags don't have to be visible at all times. There's a lot of ways to do that. But when you're new to sewing or something, then I would go over to our other rarity, Lena. She will cover that part. I think that concludes my stuff. Yes, that concludes my stuff. I hope I gave you a good understanding of how design works and how you can save money, stress, and time even before you start with your own cosplay. Over to Mimic.
Hi. Maybe you saw it, but I will talk a little bit about makeup. Today I went with a little bit of lighter makeup on my face because I got eye rashes from yesterday's makeup, so bear with me. Well, makeup is simple, but it can make a lot. If you want to wear makeup for your cosplay, it's very important to have a foundation on your face. And the foundation should match your skin color. I have like a summer shade for my face and a winter shade because my skin color changes over the year. So always have the right color with you. And it's important to, especially at a con, if you don't get enough sleep, to cover those eye bags. Or you are like cosplaying Elle from Death Note, that's okay to have eye bags. But most characters don't have that dark circles under their eyes. And you don't need to cover up your whole face. A lot of people think foundation, face, caking, like 3 layers of paint, but you don't have to do that. And especially like for your skin, if you wear a lot of cosplays and you have a 2-day con or 3-day con and you wear makeup every day, just like a little bit under the eye bags, maybe on the chin or the nose, you don't have to cover your whole face. Your skin will get irritated maybe, and especially with the stress of the convention, you have to look out for your face, kind of, to give it a little bit of rest and maybe do a little face mask at the end of the day and just relax a little bit, because the skin works and it's very, especially for the cosplays with all the other makeup you put on, it's stress too. So, and a different thing is like powder to mattify your face. Some people go for like the porcelain doll look and want to like shine like a mirror. But for photos, it's a little bit complicated to be like that shiny. So use a little bit of powder to mattify your face. And this also counts like for male cosplays, especially, a lot of males who like love to sweat everywhere. And a little bit of powder in your face can fix that for photos. Not to judge, I do that too, but I can hide it. Yeah, for blush, eyeshadow, etc., if you have a cosplay like a Rarity, lol, you can see at Rarity she already has like eyeshadow, like blue eyeshadow, so it would make sense to go for blue eyeshadow. If you make an alternate version of Rarity, like the Nightmare Rarity, who is also blue eyeshadow, you can still put like a little bit of dark in the corners to make like a gradient, to have like different colors from the pony in your face. And wear colors that match the character for the eyeshadow. Like Twilight don't have eyeshadow originally, but I suppose you could do like purple eyeshadow because it's a purple pony. You mostly go for the 4-color if you do like eyeshadow. And go easy on the colors. You don't want to look like a Russian nesting doll, except that is your goal, and what like red cheeks and like makeup everywhere and like my eyeshadow. You don't usually want that. And the eyebrows, a lot of people forget that. But eyebrows are part of your face, and eyebrows are hairs. And if you wear a wig, you want to match your facial hair to the wig. It just looks better. This morning I was getting ready, and I look odd, I forgot something. Oh, my eyebrows look shitty. Just put a little bit of eyeshadow in the color of the wig, and put it just lightly into the eyebrow. That can change the whole look, because it fits to the wig and it doesn't look like out of place. Like you have super light eyebrows because you're like a blonde, and you have a dark wig and there's like no eyebrows at all because you can't see them. That's very important to match the eyebrows to the wig. Or even if you have a beard, you can color your beard with eyeshadow too, so it matches the wig or the general style you're going with. If you don't have any hair and don't wear a wig, you can still match your beard to like your clothes or the character you're cosplaying. Like boys can do that too, but they usually can go easier on the makeup because like evolution is a bastard. And boys nearly always have like better skin. They're a lot smoother, so they don't really like need a lot of foundation. So they just can mattify their face and maybe color their beard if they want to. Yeah, here's an example for a male. My fiancé, he is like without makeup, and then I'm like his makeup artist. You can see that I darken his eyebrows, and I darkened the hairline a little bit and pulled it more into the face, so it looks like more like the Till Lindemann von Rammstein. I even made like black eyeshadow around his chin. No, like jawline, that was the word. On the jawline to define the jawline and darken his beard. Because like he has a lot of blonde hair in his beard, and with the black eyeshadow, I darkened it, and it just looks better on the photos. And I even make like baby powder and eyeshadow is over his clothes and his arms to mimic like the hard-working style and like mud is on them and stuff like that. You can not only use makeup on your face, also like on your clothes and on the rest of your body to match the vibe you're going with. Shameless plug for my cosplays. You can do like, here you see like the eyebrows match the hair, the eyebrows match the hair, the eyebrows match the hair. Well, it's dark, but I darkened my eyebrows even more so it's more defined. I don't need to match them because you can't see them. And just try to match the eyebrows to the hair and match the makeup to the hair. I couldn't do like this makeup from the Queen there. I couldn't do the dark, edgy makeup on like a Twilight because it wouldn't fit the character, because I wasn't going to fit it to the character. If I would make like an edgy, dark Twilight, that could have fit, but I was going for like the normal book Twilight, and it just wouldn't fit if I would do like the edgy makeup. Yeah. And now onto the wigs, a big part. To start, how to wear a wig. If you want to wear a wig, well, boys have it easier. They usually don't have that long hair. Some girls also have that long hair, but if you have long hair, you have to use a wig cap. And it's very easy to braid your hair and then just put it under the wig cap. So my hair is like this, and I braided it and put it like into a sock on my hair. So it fits like nicely. I think most of my hair is like here. And you can braid your hair and then pin it down with like little bobby pins to your scalp, so it's just very snug. Some people even go that far to use like not only hairspray but gel and just pat it down so it's like rock hard there and nothing can move. Yeah, you can use like I said, bobby pins or mastic. That's like a glue to glue stuff on your body, on your face. And you can even fix it there a little bit more if you are planning to do like stunts with your wig on a rope that is hanging from the ceiling.
You need more bobby pins for that.
Yeah, you need a lot. You need a lot. Yeah. If you have a styled wig, you should put it on like this. Just put it on from the back and be very careful because you'll spend like. Usually you spend like hours styling the wig and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm ready. And then you'll do the hair flick, try to put it on, and then it's ruined. Just be very careful and put it on like that.
Starting from the back of your head.
Yeah, starting from the back. If you don't have a styled wig and you're going to style it later, you can just flip it on like, and put it on your head. And then you can style it. Mostly like with Twilight, there's not much of styling to do because you just have straight hair. You can just flip it over, comb it through, and then put a little bit of hairspray so they don't fly everywhere. If you still have some hair left, you can just tuck it in. Just like with the finger, just tuck a little bit of in. Maybe use a little bit of hairspray to glue it back in to the wig cap. And yeah, that's pretty much it to how to put a wig on. And yeah, next step. Wig styling. For wig styling, most of the wigs are like plastic fibers, so you can easily use a flat iron but on low heat, or else you will burn your wig. And you can also use a steamer that is used for clothes. Just you need like heat to form the wig the way you want to do it. A brush or a comb, pretty easy. I have somewhere a comb. It was actually like double that big, but I broke it on Friday by styling my wig. But this is super easy, especially you need like a comb with big holes inside, big holes between the little pins, so you don't rip out every single hair you have on your wig. You go easy, light, big strokes, and then you can go with like the thinner when you have the wig like in one place. You can go with the thinner part to style it and put it the way you want it. Yeah, pins, clips, scissors. You want to look like a little hairdresser, but you don't have to. For more advanced stuff, you can use a curling iron, curlers, teasing comb. That's like a comb that is very thin with their tooth, and you can just mess it up and make it fluffy. Professional hair clefts, professional scissors, because like the paper scissors you have at home probably are very slippery for hair, and the professional scissors has like little tooth in them that will hold the hair in place and then cut it. So that's like, if you really want to go into wig styling, you should maybe get one of these. But you can also like very slowly and carefully use your paper scissors. So the styling, the doing. We start from the bottom and work our way up. If we have, like, this is my Luna wig from yesterday. If you want to carry the wig around or you have to move the wig, it's very easy just to braid it and then put it away because the hair here is in form. If you put them in your bag, maybe the front will get a little bit messy, but this is in place. If I open this, you can still come through with your hands. If I would have put it open like this in the bag, everything will get knotted and just messy. So, and wigs have, well, I need to find it inside. Yeah. I sew 2 wigs together, that's why there's a lot of hair. Let me find the hairless spot. Ah, here. Wigs are sewn in wefts. So you have like holes in there. And if you want to style a wig, to always start from the bottom. You put all the hair up and only leave a few wefts on the bottom, start styling them. If you're done with them, get your next set of wefts. Because if you do everything at once, it's too much hair and the heat from the flat iron can't handle that much hair. You need to go in small steps with thin strands of hair so every hair gets the heat and is able to be curled or flattened or whatever. A good tip is when, like, my wig is now a little bit trash, but if you have a wig like that and it gets like frizzy down here and it doesn't feel that nice, flat iron it. That's plastic. With the heat of the flat iron, the plastic hair will melt again and it will get like silky again. So you don't have to throw away every wig after one use just because it looks trashy. Yeah. Yeah, go slow on the heat, test your heat first. Some wigs are more heat resistible than others. And please don't get burned. I just ordered like heat protective gloves and it really helps. Even if you're not like doing big hair stuff, maybe you need to hold a curl that was just heated and it gets very hot in your hand. And I don't want you to get hurt, so please protect yourself. And it might look very messy, but you will get to it, especially when you do strand by strand and you have a lot of bushy hair on the top and just looks like, oh fucking God, what did I do? It will get to it. I had a sunset wig and I was like, oh shit, I can throw that away because it was, here was hair, there was hair. I was out of curlers, so I used toilet paper rolls and it just looked like, okay, maybe I will flatten it again and I do a flat-haired sunset, but it worked out in the end. You have to see the bigger picture. And you can always redo the hair. It's not like it's 2 times and then the hair will just fall out. So take your time, go with the flow, try to do it, and maybe if you're unsure about it, just do half of the wig, and then release the curls and look how it looks, and then you can redo it on the other half if you're not sure about your skill. But it's also always a learning progress. And now to cosplay stuff. Closet cosplay, I'm a cheap cosplayer. I don't like to spend a lot of money, so I often reuse stuff I have in my wardrobe. So simple examples is like the rarity there. It's just a black turtleneck, a little hat. You can use white pants, black shoes, wig, rarity. Or Starlight, there are clothes that exist in like the human world. You can wear like gray pants, black shoes, turquoise, t-shirt, a black vest, wig, hat, cosplay. You didn't have to do anything of that yourself. Shining armor, super easy. I mean, mod pie, it's a blue dress with a black belt. What can go wrong? Like they have very simple character designs, and if you're not sure about your skills, you don't want to sew stuff, you don't want to buy a lot of shit, you can see, okay, what do I have in the closet? And what can I reuse for the cosplays I want to do? And especially for the main characters, for My Little Pony G4, you have a lot of pictures that would say, yeah, that would fit like Applejack. You have the country girl vibe with the hat, the big jeans, orange blouse, rainbow dash. It's a little bit more sporty with also like the bracelets. Rarity, more chic, elegant, Pinkie Pie, color blocking, pink, fun, Fluttershy, a little bit more shy, a little more flowery, Twilight, the bookworm. So you don't have to buy cosplay stuff every time. You can just say, okay, I have stuff at home that looks similar to the things that the character would wear. I will wear it and put a wig on it. It's especially good for like building up confidence to working in cosplay, because some people are like, oh, yeah, cosplay, no, it's like for the professionals, I won't do that. But if you have clothes you're already comfortable in because you have the clothes in your closet, you just have to put a wig on yourself, and then you can go and start feeling comfortable, and then you maybe go to a bit of more advanced stuff. Yeah, everything I said. I just find it easier to talk to the pictures. Yeah, clothes similar to the character, the clothes they're already wearing, the vibe, and you can always add like character key elements. Like here, I have this brush in the shape of her cutie mark. I have some dangly thingies here that resembles her cutie mark. It's just adding like little key elements from the character to your outfit that makes it a little bit more the character and less like your closet, if you want to. So, and now to get to the more professional side of the cosplay, like sewing your stuff and doing like the professional shit, here's Lena. So, yeah, I have two categories to show to you. First of all, sewing. You can be like Rarity, you can sew your own cosplay. I have 3 examples of cosplay I've sewn here. As you can see, Rarity, I'm wearing it. Was actually not that hard because the fabric is not stretchy. I used a pattern for it. The thing that took the longest was basically sewing on this fringe feather thingy by hand. But other than that, I could use pattern for everything. The patterns looked fine and I didn't have to adjust much. Then of course a bit harder is sewing stretchy fabrics because the fabrics go everywhere. It's also with the outfit I wore yesterday, the Rarity suit. I had to hand sew everything before I could sew it by machine because otherwise the fabrics would slip away. So I would say if you start sew something with a non-stretchy fabric, then you can work your way to stretchy fabric. You can start with a not so much fitted pattern and you can work your way to fitted patterns. Yeah, and that's also, I just put that on there. It's a dress where I actually made so the Rarity was the simplest one, Harley Quinn was a bit harder, and that one was the hardest because I also made the pattern myself. So just some sewing examples. If you want to start cosplay sewing, you will definitely need fabric, duh. You will need fabric scissors. Do not use your fabric scissors for paper. They will not be sharp anymore. Just take professional fabric scissors. You will need needles and thread. You will need pins. Then I have some things that are nice to have. I would say for me they are also essential, but I mean you can sew without a sewing machine. By hand it just takes longer. I like using my sewing machine, of course. I like to use patterns. You can make your own patterns, it doesn't matter if you want to take the time, but it can save you a lot of time if you just buy a pattern somewhere. You have a starting point here, you can always adjust it. I think for this one I adjusted the skirt length because I wanted the front short and the long back, but there was a very simple adjustment if you compare it to just making your own pattern. Then, of course, pens or chalk to mark the fabric. There are pens that you can just iron out, so with heat, the color of the pens will disappear. Those are really convenient, but try them out on a scrap piece of fabric before, because actually I bought some, they were supposed to disappear and they didn't, but she bought some that actually do disappear, so I know they exist. Just try them out before. And my favorite things to use when sewing are Flieselina and Fliesofix. I will get to that in a bit because that's a bit more specific. But yeah. So this is how to add your cutie mark. If you don't want to make your own cosplay, you don't want to sew the whole thing, you just want to add your cutie mark. Here are some examples of pillows I've made using that technique. I used Fliesofix for that. Fliesofix is amazing. It's a thing you can iron on. It's basically glue to iron on. It has, when you buy it, it has one more sticky side and one paper side.
So then you can iron it on, then you put it on the other, you take off the paper, you put it on the thing where you want to put it on, and then you remove it. I'll have a more detailed one in the next slide, but you also need a pen, you need iron and an ironing board, you need, of course, your costume and the fabric you want to use for your cutie mark. So this is how I did the little stars for the costume yesterday. I drew on the cutie mark to the Flisofix. I do not cut it out, because if you cut everything out immediately, then you have to match, when you're ironing, you have to match a cutout piece of Flisofix to a cutout piece of fabric. It's way, way easier to just draw it on, iron it on, and then cut it out together, because then it won't slip in one or the other direction. Then, of course, you iron the Flisofix on the cutie mark fabric. This is both the picture number 1 I have up there. Then you cut it out and you remove the paper, the second picture. You can see on the middle part, on the middle one, the paper is half removed, so it looks like the surface is a little bit blurrier. Then you, then you just turn it around and you iron it on your cosplay. This picture is for reference only. Of course, I did not iron them all on the same time. I placed one, ironed it on, then placed the next one, ironed it on, because otherwise they might move around and then they stick and you don't know where they're going. Yeah, and then you could leave it like that, but once you put it in the washing machine or try to do anything with it, it might fray. So use a zigzag stitch with your sewing machine, sew along the edges so it doesn't fray. And a bonus tip for this one, it doesn't matter because you cannot really mirror those diamonds, but check at least 3 times to make sure the design isn't mirrored. I've done this doing like a fairy tale logo on a pillow for a friend. And I mean, you have to draw it first on the Flisofix and then think about, okay, which way is it gonna look when I turn it around to iron it on that, and then I will turn it around again to iron it on the next one. So really make sure it isn't mirrored. So my friend actually got a mirrored pillow for his birthday because I just didn't realize it. Oh well. Yeah, just some general things. Start small, simple projects at first. Start with a t-shirt, not a 3-piece suit. A friend of mine, actually, he wanted to make his first cosplay. He bought a pattern for a 3-piece suit because he wanted to make the Joker cosplay. As far as I know, cutting out the pattern is as far as he got. Also, skirts are easier than pants. Pants have to match, like, this has to fit, this has to fit, the length has to fit. For a skirt, it has to fit around the waist. That's it. Use pre-existing clothing and alter it. You can just try to put your cutie mark on some clothing. You can try to use something, make it a little more fitting, for example. And of course, non-stretchable fabric is easier to use. I actually brought an example so you can also see that you're making progress, like in the meantime. I've brought my first rarity dress. So this was made with a really simple pattern. It is really not pretty on the inside. I did not really finish the edges. And I have to admit, my first try, I did not have access to an embroidery machine, so the first try I did with hand-embroidered cutie marks, and I added these later. But yeah, I mean, you can see it's also completely self-made, but this one is prettier because I've had a bit more experience. So you work your way up in the scale of projects. You can start with simple things and you work your way up to more complicated things. You select, if you want to start, select a pattern, select a matching tutorial. There are so many great YouTube tutorials out there, use them, but make sure that the person knows what they are doing. Oftentimes there's cosplayers doing sewing tutorials, and I don't want to bash cosplayers, but some of them really don't know a lot about sewing. They're just like, oh yeah, I'm improvising this, and then you try to follow the tutorial, and in the end they use the completely wrong fabric, and you follow the tutorial, and your dress does not fit. That happened to me last year. I should have known better. I should have known that it can't work like this, but it looked so easy, so I tried to follow. So maybe check out that the people actually know what they are doing. I mean, YouTube videos, there are some that are made from like 50-year-old seamstresses, but those mostly really know what they are talking about. So those are oftentimes more helpful than the like modern things from younger people who don't know what they're doing. So yeah. Also, sewing basics. Yeah, you cut out the pattern, you cut out the fabric, you sew it together. It's simple as that. I can't. I mean, there's a ton of things I could talk about, but that would be probably way too long than the hour we have here. And if you are really cool, you can make a mock-up of your fabric. I always say to myself, yeah, next time I'm going to make a mock-up. A mock-up is basically you make the same clothing from a fabric with a similar stretch, so you will know, okay, this part fits, so I need to let it out here a bit, I need to take it in here, and then you don't ruin your final fabric, so you can use the mock-up to adjust your pattern. It's really, really helpful. Yeah, so to the next part, it's armor and accessories. I've added in the middle, it's not talent, it's practice and passion, because oftentimes when we're cosplaying, people walk up to us and they are like, oh, I wish I could do this, but I just don't have the talent. I mean, you've seen my first cosplay in the first introductory slide. It's not talent, I've just practiced for years. It's simple as that. It's not having talent is not an excuse. Of course, having talent makes it easier, but you can do great cosplays if you just practice and work on it. So armor and accessories, I mostly go small on the armor and accessories. I just do simple things, like for example, the Queen Chrysalis, I made shin armor and like arm armor. They are very, very simple. You can of course go all out, but this is a beginner panel, so
There's no kill like overkill.
Yeah, we're just going to talk about simple stuff here. So, if you want to make armor and accessories, like from foam or wobbler, for example, there's a bigger list of things you need. You need a pattern. I would say this time it's essential. I mean, you can make it yourself using duct tape pattern for body parts, or you make a blueprint for other things, but you can also buy patterns from cosplayers. It's very helpful. You of course need the foam, a box cutter to cut out the foam, contact cement to glue it together, sanding paper, a heat gun, primer, paint, and varnish. For what? Knife sharpener, yes. That's actually on the picture, but it didn't make the list because you can I would say, yes, it's very, very handy, but you could also just throw away the blades and use new ones, which would be kind of wasteful. So knife sharpener, definitely. And nice to have a Dremel, because it makes sanding a lot easier. All the Warbler, because Warbler is great. It's a thermoplastic material. You heat it up, you can shape it, and then it cools down, it stays in that shape. And foam clay, it's a newer thing. It's also really nice to mold things from it. And just for making foam things, I've brought a small tutorial, just an example of, where's my gun? So, So, just a one-day project, basically. I needed to finish it fast for a photo shoot. I selected my pattern, I cut out pieces, glued them all together, sanded it down. Then I primed it, I painted it, and I put some varnish on it. It's not perfect, but on pictures, it's good enough. So, I mean, you can have a look at it if you want to. You can just pass it through. It was made in a day. I was on the photo shoot. I was throwing it on the ground all the time because it was an aerial shooting, so it doesn't matter. And also be creative with your materials. Foam and Warbler are a great start, but I mean, for example, that hammer, I used buckets for the structure and I used pipes. And then I put foam and Warbler around it, just Warbler for the pretty things, foam for the general stuff. Magnets so that I could open it. It's very simple and I can store all of my stuff in it, because if you are going somewhere by train or by car, you don't want the prop to take up all the space. So, some more info. YouTube and Google are your best friends. As they've already said, there are tutorials for almost everything. For example, Kamui Cosplay is really great for making foam and Warbler stuff. Her tutorials are amazing. You can make your patterns, you can buy them, you can make like duct tape patterns or blueprints. You can use foam or Warbler or combine it. Warbler is more expensive, but I think easier to work with, but you burn yourself more. Foam is cheaper, but I think a bit harder to work with. And if you do armor, think about attaching it first. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a pretty shoulder pattern and it just keeps falling down from your shoulder. It happened to me at a con. I had to there were some cosplay repair people, and in the end we used zip ties. We punched holes in my armor and used zip ties to tie it to my jacket because otherwise it just fell down. So, that was it, I would say. So I will hand it back to Gala for some general safety instructions.
So since we're a little short in time, I just say make a photo of it, or just, I mean, basically you can see it. It's just logic. Get your stuff. Pretty shoes, and there's uncomfortable shoes. Those are neither so pretty, neither so comfortable. So I don't know. This are good shoes, but they're pain. Comfy shoes. So look out for things that hurt you, contact lenses, that you can take them out at all times, get your meds, get your stuff, and you're pretty much good to go. So it's not big science. Prepare kits are handy, always handy. Always good to know.
One more thing. We are having a cosplay workshop right after this where you can actually learn how to make these ears. They have a foam core, so you can check out working with foam a bit. And they have a fabric, like a minky cover. They are simple to make, and if you want to try to work with those materials or you just want pony ears, come to our workshop. It's I think right after this, yeah. Okay, anyways, advertisement ending.
So, but we forgot like the biggest thing on cosplay. So take out your notebooks, take out your phones, call your moms. Have fun. Without fun, you can't do anything. You have to have fun with the stuff you're doing. Okay? Yeah, you got that? Okay.
If you have some questions overall, we're like on the con the whole day, so just run up to us for like some...
Or come to the workshop.
To the workshop about some tutorials or something. We can give advice, usually. Thank you.
to start. First of all, it's my first English panel. Yeah, but I want to ask, can anybody speak German here? No. Fuck. I'm prepared. Hello and welcome to my panel Behind the Con here at GalaCon 2020. First of all, a little side note for you. This is not an official panel of the GalaCon, but maybe I used my power as a staff member to put my panel in here. Anyway, what are we going to see in this panel? Stuff from behind the GalaCon. Why? Because is it easier for me to look behind the GalaCon? So we look behind the GalaCon. At first, we take a look at the convention team and their tasks. After that, you will see how the event management or event department works from day one until today and tomorrow. As a follow-up, we check some problems behind this convention, and you will get some tips as a visitor for an easier con life and maybe some nice inside jokes. To close the panel, you get a chance to ask the shit out of a convention staff. But first of all, who is this guy in front of you? My name is Sikora95. I am 27 years old and a dispatcher and train driver in Germany. I was a member of several staff teams here in Germany, for example, the GalaCon, Everfree Encore, Derpy Fest, or the later cancelled Brony Fair. I also rewrite many songs which Everfree Encore visitors have seen over the last years. In 2019, I decided to leave all teams except the GalaCon because it became too much for me to handle. I wanted to visit all the meetups and cons where I never was as a visitor and have fun, make party, and of course drink cider with my friends. But thanks to that one bet, this was all cancelled for pandemic reasons, so I try again. And it is hard for me to say, but this year will be my last GalaCon as a staff member, as an official staff member. Yeah. I will never be free here. Because I am going to take in further educations for my work life, so please understand that. So, let us take a look at the team behind the Gala. First we have Dios, aka the chairman, the great boss of this stuff. Patch for community guests and the art management, Bag for all what have to do with finance. My little cute avatar over there, Sikora95, for event and panel management. Shimmer as my event management assistant. Much for vendor management. We have Damat for the guests, Skyfang for security, the great and powerful Udo for volunteers, Sai for the B2B, business-to-business communication, the stuffs with the motels and the location here. Derek for the tech team, Pandora51 for the public relations team lead. Is Derek here? No. Ha! Luck for me. And Wideck for Doku and streaming, team lead and IT. Wideck is here, he streams this to the World Wide Web. Hello, mother, I'm at the television. So, we look closer to the team. The chairman is the head of organization. That starts with little things like the weekly meetings and ends with discussions and negotiation with the location or human resources. Additionally, this year, SD is responsible for the budget, community guest relations, and the organizer of the evening events. Whatever I put in the timetable in the evening, he will press the delete key so hard that I never dare to enter anything there again. Oh, yeah, a little bit deeper. The next one, Berg Hamner has a really ungrateful job here. Accounting. Trust me, that's not cool. Budget controlling, tax returns, and a complete report for nearly everything is in his hand. Every official matter for the government or licensing for music and our lovely European data privacy comes on top. Because that's not enough, he purchases needed materials and create print data for e.g. the con guide. Oh, first page. Damat in Skyfang does everything that involves guest of honors. Skyfing is additionally responsible for the security at the convention. He takes care of the guard coordination and the safety concept, and if necessary, yells at you completely without a reason. So if you want to be shouted out, you know where you can go. The one and only 404 compliant is a great and powerful volunteer wizard. The last weeks before the con are the hardest for him because there are non-calculable, I love English, factors like sick reporting or the cancellations from volunteers or special wishes for additional volunteers from me. Can I have 4 more? No. At the con, he helps out where stuff is needed or when there is a problem with the volunteers or the shift plan. Click. Dr. Derek is a team lead of the tech team and joined the staff team because we mentioned in the past it is good to have a tech person in the team. It's too much to tell you, but you can see there's a lot to do. But of course, most of the work is at the convention. Anyone still reading? Perfect. Oh, he reads. Everybody wait for you. No photos allowed. You can screenshot the live stream afterwards. Patch started as an artist and evolved to the community guest responsible who organized everything around the community guests. Beside of that, she is the leader of the art team and plans merchandise for the cons. Much as the most hated persons from the stuff, from the view of the vendors. There are so many tables out there for vendors and still not enough for all the vendor applications. I don't want to be the one who has to decide which vendor don't have a place in our venue. He is our vendor manager and of course responsible for every vendor thing. All the other peoples like him. Besides that, he is our guardian of the dress code. You know why I joked with the most hated person, right? And to finish it, he is our substitute driver for European trips and the team lead of the Gala ball guards. And please don't hate him, he's a good guy. Wydek, or my favorite name for him, Krydek, is the doku and streaming team lead and responsible for all recordings and photo things. He will censor the Krydek part, I will be sure. Before the con, he's our IT guy for everything that helps to bring the Gala online, so you don't have to apply with letters or fax or something. This cute OC over there belongs to Pandora 51, the guy with no OC. He is the lead of public relations and plans the announcements and take care of our website and social media. At the con, you can find him the most time behind the camera. Next, we have the event management. Here we have 2 members. One of them is a guy called Zekora, who is the head of the department. The other one is Shimmerlight. They work with everything around panels, the charity auction, and the cosplay contests. And because I am part of this little department, let's take a closer look at what the event management does. The event management. For an easier presentation, I took all the work in 5 steps on the timescale. At first, we start with the panel applications. They start mostly with New Year's Eve or a few weeks after it. Shimmer and I make a little review. If we both say yes or no, the decision is clear. When only one of us say yes, we discuss about it and decide after that. We then check needed materials and ask for more information if needed. If the panel is accepted, we ask for advertisement texts for the con guide and get the last informations for the contract. We use DokuWiki at GalaCon in the most departments. Every application ends up in there. Here you can see the panel application of social media for bronies from Muffin Carton. Start with a short information about the panel. And the decided time slot. Oh yeah. Which is not filled in here. We're professionals, sorry. Lastly, we have the concept of the panel. So I have a laser pointer right here. Yeah, laser pointer. It worked. So the panelists can fill out what he needs for materials. As you can see, we approved a portable microphone and a beamer with HDMI connector, exactly what she wanted, perfect requirements for us, and the most of panelists need similar equipment. Then there is Raumwunsch, aka room request. To be honest, we ignored that completely. But we will talk about that later. At the end, we have references from other cons or whatever you can tell us about your panel, so we can see what is this. Wow. There's a long checklist for every step. I translate, application received, receive approved, review, ask for more information, make a decision, send decision, approval, I hope, negotiate needed materials and room, getting advertisement texts, create a contract, the contract is back, room and time planning, date the announcement, sending last informations like the announcement date, create vouchers for a free meal. You get a free meal when you have a panel here. Did you get yours already? Perfect. And information for volunteers. In the end, there are advertisement texts in German, the good language for me, and English, the not so perfect language for me, and the planned announcement date. And very last, there is the time we received the application. Part of the application process is the panelist contract. A masterpiece of German bureaucracy. If you're wondering why there is no GalaCon logo, that's because the GalaCon is part of the Pony Events Federation. Woo! The host association of GalaCon and Everfree Encore. In the contract stands the name, the number of persons, the materials for the panel, and at least you're signed to sell us your soul. Here are the materials. So, next step, room planning. I mentioned that we ignore room wishes. We take a look for the concept and needed materials and try to guess how many visitors will be there. It's good. If we have too much panels, we book an additional room at the venue. On Sunday, at the last two GalaCons, that was not needed. That's right. We don't need the second room. I don't have enough panel applications. So, where am I? Shit. It doesn't work. Ah, that was a laser pointer. Oops. Here you can see the needed materials, again, for social media for Brownies from Muffin Carton. She wants a portable microphone. In the little table under that, here, you can find the list of materials in panel room 1 and 2. She was planned in room 2, this is this one. There was already 2 portable microphones from another panel, check. We guessed her panel distinguishes from other panels and have more visitors than others, so we decided to put the panel in the bigger room. And yeah, you can see panel room 1 also has portable microphones, so anyway. But panel room 1 has an extra table. We have 3 panels who ordered that, so all of them are in this room, because tables costs money. Panelists wants to that's the wrong. That's a material decision. So sometimes the panelist wants the main hall. I guess you understand why that's quite difficult. The timetable is full. We put panels like Trixie Wants You in there because there are many visitors and they need place for interacting with visitors. That was my stand the last time. Was it visited this year really good? Yeah. Good, perfect. So, insights. Here is a really early timetable version. When we place panels in there, we look not only for materials. Panelists want to see other panels too. And we try to consider their wishes. Sometimes the panelists have 2 panels, so they can't be at the same time. Famous example at this page is Daniel Ingram. He is at the signing sessions and has his own panel. That's difficult. So, next step. Activities and public relations will be a funny part of the presentation. That's why we want to hold it short. The planning of the announcements with the PR is boring. I get a calendar and put my dates in it. Karaoke, short drawing, games room, and CCG is similar like every year. There's not much to do for us. At the last GalaCon, there was something you knew. You know what? No, not the online version, the real GalaCon. So, it was the Gala Run. A small collection of mini-games to collect points and a chance to win something at the award ceremony. Some ponies might remember it as the Iron Pony competition from the Brony Fair. We can say we got some inspiration from that. The visitors liked the Gala Run, and we decided to bring it back this year. Some visitors mentioned that we only had throwing games last time, and I wanted to change that. I got a loan of a few $10 from our accountant and visited the website of a local rental service. Unluckily, we don't have enough volunteers and had to cancel the Gala Run this year. Sorry. But let us look what we had planned. I love this website. Sadly, the Thomas train was too expensive. And we had to pay a worker to operate it. There was a 35 meters of fun and we only needed 2 30 volts connector for it. So this is from the last Gala Run, Sticky Dart, the expensive part of the last Gala Run. I don't know the number right now, but I guess it was between 50 and 100 euro for the whole weekend, so perfect. And the energy, of course. That was a serious idea for this year, a laser gun with 5 targets. So I was not sure about that, but it was an idea too. No, that was a serious idea for me, a variable mini-golf course. I love mini-golf, nice. I was not sure about that. And yeah, I love this website. An idea for this year too. It's called hot wire. You have a circle and you're not allowed to touch the wire, otherwise the bell will ring and you're out. Why no?
Don't you get electric shock from it?
No.
No!
Except you touch it, then you have a problem. That's a German version. We have something like TÜV. You can't get shocked when you use it in the way you have. And just for the meme, just for the stuffs, but no. Like I said, just for stuffs. But now it's time to finish the timetable. This moment is like 1 or 2 weeks before the announcement. The panelists got told what panels are beside them and then can tell us if they want to participate in one of these panels. Then we try to change the timetable. I told you about the conflicts with 2 persons at the same panel. Here's a little inside information. Every time you say, that's the final timetable, there comes another stuff at the corner and says, oh, there's a panel missing. Then you hit the table with your fist and open a cider. So it happened that we have 3 official panels at the same time. Starts with Light and Bright Your Art. 30 minutes later starts LA How to Voice Act in the other room. And only 15 minutes later, Daniel Ingram starts with his panel in the main hall. We're very sorry for this. Yeah, the time until the con shrinks. The procrastination is at its highest point. The last preparations are in the making. Time for Sikora to get on a 1-week vacation at the Eastern Sea in Germany. So he has to finish his presentation in 1 week and do all the other stuff. My colleagues loves me. So, At one point in the checklist for panels was the contributor guide. It is a depositor for the con guide and contains information for the panelists. This guide is from Cosplay 101, the panel before mine. There is a workshop afterwards, so they got a possibility to prepare the workshop before the panel and started their panel afterwards. They have a page with information. That's this one, the second one, where the panelists can ask if there's any question or problem and the phone numbers of booth event managers, so you can call us. Only one person does this. This was Captain Horse. He sent me an SMS, and I answered him, and this was 20-cent roaming. Oh. My heart. On the last page, there's some sort of checklist for the panelists, like what you can do at Friday, be at the opening and the closing ceremony, all this stuff. My coworker is a nice guy, Shimmer. He created a contributor guide for me as well. Want to see it? Other responsibilities before the con is a tech checkup on Friday. Get the rented stuff, review all charity auction and cosplay contest registrations. So, we're finished. It's first day before the convention and the team comes together for the last supper. Then comes the Friday with all of the preparation and then finally convention time. Ah shit, here we go again. So, the event management has an easier life at the convention. We check that the panels got all of their needed materials and the tech is working. Otherwise, we punish the tech volunteer until it works. Greeting to my volunteers here. Besides that, we take care of the last-minute registrations for cosplay contest and the charity auction, and that is hard. And whatever falls into our hands. So, we come, so far so good. Our time is limited, so I have to make the end of the GalaCon short. We are done and want to burn everything down at the end. So we don't have to tidy up. So let us look at some interesting things at the end, problems while planning the GalaCon. Oh no. I start with the event management, don't worry. There are some problems you have to tackle year by year, but this year it was a little harder as usually. Maybe that's a result of our 2-year pandemic break, I don't know. It was a nice break, but not so good. We had cancellations from panelists a few weeks before the cons for visa reasons and some things. Informations about guests and their panels that come very late and not enough for the good planning. We don't have enough volunteers, so we had to cancel the Gala run. I helped out the last time, there was not enough as well. We didn't get enough panel applications, the timetable was very empty, unless there comes the late information about guest panels. And don't judge me, but the last minute registrations for cosplay contests and the charity auctions are not so nice. There's a lot of work at the con, and it will be really nice if you don't have to review your registrations at the con. Please do it before. Thanks. So, I addressed volunteers. Let us look for volunteers. Let's take a closer look on that problem. Here you can see the development of the volunteers since GalaCon 2017. We started with 92 and ended up this year with 59. It was 62, but we have 3 sick reportments. From 18 panel guards to 9, 4 less than 2019. Only the tech team was stable, but yeah, you can't take a volunteer away there. But let us look on the problem over all departments at GalaCon. Are you ready, guys? My colleagues? They don't want to hear it, I know it. Flight cancellations, non or late responding guests, technical issues with our mails, the COVID pandemic, of course, makes problems. The inflation over the last 3 years, problems with the location, there were several changes, and a last-minute guest cancellation. All these are external issues. But nobody is perfect, not even us. Our intern communication was not good this year. Many of us were stressed, so information got lost, messages forgotten, our answer delayed, and missed deadlines were not rare. As an example, the deadline for the timetable was set to the middle of May. We pushed it forward at the end of June. And it was still not finished then. The final draft of the con guide was finished 2 weeks before the convention started. But believe me, it's not possible to make it perfect. There will always be something wrong. But it worked in the end. Huh? Next time it will be better. Because I'm not there. So, that was the wrong page. Here, no. Let's have some tips for being a good visitor. I didn't know how to write this without it sounding accusing, sorry. I do not mean it that in a bad way. Everything's fine. First of all, if you have a question at the convention, the most time staffs are very busy. And for the most questions, you can talk to a volunteer. We like to communicate with you, but when you hear a simple question 20 times per day and the answer is in the con guide or on the homepage, it's possible a busy staff member gets a bit angry. Sorry when that happened to you. We love feedback, positive and negative. Only with feedback we can make things better. There will be a survey after the con. Please use this chance to tell us your feelings. On the basis of these reviews, we decide to keep the Gala run for this year. Until we had no volunteers for that. If you write there that my panel was horrible, I am sure I'm getting cancelled next time. We are simple people. We love jokes and memes. I mean, we have limits, but thinking back to all the ancient GalaCon memes, we love that. For example, not from the GalaCon, but for example, I was at the PonyCon Holland last year, and some ponies stick the mayonnaise forbidden sign over the toilet door. I think it was funny. Nobody got hurt, but please don't stick the complete venue full of stuff. Other actions, like the Joker-Batman fight about Perry's head, we love that. We've got very stressed in the moment. Elaine, before the stage, throw money in our box without any name or something, but it was funny. And I'm glad Batman won the fight, because at that moment, the money was not returnable. Last but not least, enjoy the con. There are so many times before and during a convention a staff wants to quit. It's a lot of work and it has to be done, even if you do not feel like it. But seeing you all enjoying the convention, especially the closing ceremony, when you see everybody applaud and everything is full of cheer, is such a motivation push. You make another year and another one. We reached the end of my panel. Let us look at some funny pictures from the staff life at the end. Oof. Here you can see a really stressed staff. You can see a really stressed staff prepare. I guess he prepared the refill of the lake because there was not much water in it. Really important. Here's a picture of me hardworking at the Everfree Encore. The work at Everfree is much easier than at a real convention, believe me, at least as an event manager, lol. I hear the tech team crying while I say this. A shot from the con office at GalaCon 19. I prepared a cosplay contest on this photo. I took a snack there. Size most favorite Telegram stickers over the years. Was anybody on the man toilet down there? Unfortunately, we don't have golden toilets, but I have this one toilet cabin down there. That is my favorite. At one time it was occupied, so I put a sign on it. Shimmer found that sign random and takes this photo. I did this year again. 20 minutes before this panel, Real Talk, with free English, oh God, was the cabin occupied? One of you? I hope it was a staff. I don't have enough time left to check this. So, don't need to explain. Finally, furries get busted. There was a sparkle cola on the last GalaCon charity auction. The bottles was sold for $200. And the same evening, we found that people at the hotel lobby drinking it without glasses. $200 Coke without glasses. The meme has nothing to do with it, with the picture, but we found it funny. So, here's the reason why woman lives longer. Here you can see festival garbage. That's not the Stuff Life, it's the Stuff Life, it's our hotel. The Nestor Hotel had a special menu card for the convention last time. At least they used the German synchronization for the title. We all know that's the best synchronization. Freundschaft ist Magie. Magie. So, the next time you sweat in the warm location, oh, I have no text for this. Oh, last preparements before the con. It's censored, damn it. So, the next time you sweat in a warm location, please don't think about the next picture of please don't think about the next picture of the con office, okay? But fun fact, it was the only year we did this. It didn't help that much in the con office. Here is the moment Deus told me that we have to make another GalaCon. And this is our accountant with his calculator. Finally, I want to show you how my horror trip through the event management started. As a little volunteer for the Brony Fair 2016 with my self-made cash-out system. Good times. And I was about 10 kilos lighter. Sami. We end the panel with a little Q&A. Anyone wants to know something, you can also ask me something after the panel. Otherwise, thank you for listening. I hope I was able to give you a little insight behind the scenes of a convention, and maybe you're now interested to be part of a convention team. If not, I will be happy to see you as a visitor as well, and wish you a nice charity auction and closing ceremony later. Thank you. So, anyone has a question? Oh, lucky me. Ah, damn. It's on, yeah. So. It's not on. A portable microphone? Speak in there, otherwise the technic don't know if it's this.
Test? Okay, yeah, it's on. Just purely hypothetically, if a couple of people are considering throwing their own con, like completely from scratch, what are like one or two of the biggest tips that you can give these people that are clearly not right in the head?
Yeah. The first you have to think about, that's a really big point, is the visitor size. How many visitors will you have? When you have this number, we say for a first convention, 200? Yeah, 200. It was the Derby Fest. I built that from scratch. My first number was 60. And then you can make ticket prices and plan the budget for everything. And then you will see, oh, is there enough money or do I have to get more visitors? Or make the tickets lit expensive or the price higher. Other good point. Deus, shout out. What is the other important thing?
Get rid of your real life.
Yeah.
Already happened, don't worry. Except
A lot of stuff will go wrong. Yeah. Yeah. The second important thing is the location. Yeah.
The second thing is ask Deus.
He don't want to hear us, but when you need help or something, the Pony Events Federation can help you. America, nice. Wanted to be there. Anyway. So yeah, when you have a location, you know what the location costs. That's one of the expensivest costs for a convention. Then you can plan around that. That's the two importance. And please don't be demotivated if something goes wrong. So there will be many. You see it? I told it. There will be many good things. Yeah.
No, wait, I don't know. What can go wrong will go wrong.
Yeah. Another?
Say you're having or planning to have around 200 visitors. What would you say would be an okay starting budget before you hopefully make zero after the con? Of course, it depends from country to country, but estimated in what you did, or what would you recommend?
Sadly, I don't have another presentation with me, a German one. There was a calculation table. Yeah, so at the first Derby Fest, we don't have special guests or something, but it's a different kind of convention. We have Prince Whatever in 1 year. This was the 200 persons one. We planned with €75 for the normal weekend ticket, but there was everything to eat and drink in it, and 2 or 3 special guests from Great Britain. Of course, not from America, because the flights to America are really expensive. Yeah, so that will be a good price. The British Isles is a good example. There was a little one. How many visitors they have? Udo is here, I guess? 200? Yeah, and I don't know their budget, but it worked. They have Ellie, I guess. Aren't they? Nobody knows? The British Isles had Ellie, aren't they? 150 people. Yeah, but you can work with smaller ones. Of course, with 200 people and €60 for the whole weekend, you can't get Tara Strong. Yeah, you make. I make it so I have my calculation table, put it in. I guess I will sell 120 normal tickets. Then we had special tickets listed in. Then you have to calculate what you give that person, so pay more money, like a goodie bag, and then you can see under it what's left. Then you can make a budget, can we say, so we talk about 100 visitors, so you can say, €20 are left from at the point. So 20 and 100 visitors, that are €2,000. Yeah, that was true. Oh, that's a test. And then you can say, oh, okay, cool. this special guest costs me for the flight 500 euro, the hotel costs me 200 euro, that work. Then you can see, oh, so I have 1,300 euros left. That is not possible anymore to get another special guest because they want money. Yeah. No problem. Anyone else? Oh, James, I see you. Thanks for the inspiration for that panel.
I can understand about the telephone. I printed a telephone number on 120 tickets for any contact, and no one phoned me, or no one texted.
On the contributor guides,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
only the panelists here, like Bexy. Are there more panelists in here? No, it's not so much. It was 12 or 15 contributor guides this year. And of course, in one of the contributor guides stands not the telephone number, like you see.
So my question is, like, a lot of contributors have special requests for events to provide equipment or food or drink. Is there anything particularly interesting that you've been requested to provide? And did you do it?
Yeah. Sometimes people ask for special things. Trixie wanted 2 whiteboards and extra tables and something. That is really special at this point. I found it funny, one workshop application wanted 20 glue pistols. So, glue guns, yeah, and no.
I can tell you one, and then so we had someone kind of joking ask for photos of Nicolas Cage. And they thought we wouldn't do it, and we did. We gave them lots of big posters of Nicolas Cage, and we interrupted their panel, and we gave it to them in the panel.
Nice.
Yeah.
When somebody asks, I will do this.
Hi, I have a question.
Yeah.
With all the pony conventions borrowing ideas from each other, how can you make sure that your event is slightly different, or at least memorable, standing out from the other events? Any tips?
Yeah. There are some points. Of course, we have here the good point that not belongs to us, the PubCon. Many people go to the PubCon at Friday, and when they're here, they go to the GalaCon. Other things are, the Gala run is one point that you don't find at other conventions. So at Derbyfest we have a ball pit for DashCon references. The ball pit was here too in 2018 or 19.
There was also a ball pit at Heartswarming Con. So.
Yeah. So yeah. Otherwise, you can only make a difference with the guests. With your guests of honor, please, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
How has COVID affected your sales for this year?
Sorry?
Sorry, how has COVID affected your sales? What are your attendance figures for this year? Do you have any idea yet?
What happened when I infected with COVID?
No, how did...
I don't understand it, sorry.
How did COVID affect your sales, the ticket sales?
That's a good question. There is a little amount of people who don't get here because COVID. Mm-hmm. But we have slightly over 1,000 visitors this year. Nice. So it affected us, yeah, I think so, but I can't say that it is so hard.
Do you have any exact figures? Do you have any exact figures yet?
I don't understand, sorry.
Do you have any precise figures on the attendance? Do you have any attendance figures yet?
No, the exactly number are not. Maybe we say it at closing ceremony.
Okay.
Deus. Silence. 1070, Deus say. I want 1111. Fun fact, this presentation contains 69 foils. Nice.
Considering budget and money, do you only get your money together via ticket sales, or what about sponsoring? Do you have any kind of sponsors that like help out kicking this off?
At the last conventions, we had Startnext Kickstarter, a crowdfunding platform for some extra money. There you have to show at the costs of the items you sell there, and then you have free respect. I can explain from the goodie bag at Derby Fest. It costs so 35 euro, and we buy 50 pieces of everything we put in there, and looked, okay, it costs that, and per sold goodie bag was 15 euro left. 15 times 15 euro, you have a little extra money. So, and of course there was a big donation this year, but that's not my department. I don't know.
I was more talking like businesses in the area.
Businesses in the area.
Would like pitch in a sponsor.
No, this is not a cultural convention or something. Of course, we have a relationship to Subway. They give us 30% for every sandwich, but that's no money for us or something. We get the last ever free encore got the German government prepared money for every kind of Veranstaltung, Miete, event, yeah, for events that can show that does we do, we have the right to get money of this pot, and we get some money from there. That was really good because the ever free encore otherwise this will not be a good financial thing. Best Western sponsor us? Oh yeah, and we get a small amount of free rooms at the Best Western for our community guests. And we make, all visitors have the method to get a coupon code, a voucher for a better price for the rooms. They make business with us.
Hello, thanks for the panel.
Thanks.
For staying. Yeah, here I am.
Oh no,
It's
not
me.
he!
Don't worry, I have just two short questions. The first is, how do you count the amount of visitors? It's the amount of tickets sold?
Ticket
or
sales,
if so if somebody buys the ticket for the weekend and just for the Sunday, it counts as a one attendee?
No? How we count this?
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
I'm only
That's
a
good.
small event manager.
I'm just asking because different events counts this very different ways. Thank you. And the second question, it's related to that, how COVID affected your sales. I don't want to ask about the specific numbers, but did let's say the amount of sold tickets over time, the curve, did it change from the last years?
Yeah.
Because in my experience, it changed a lot.
Yeah, a lot. I forget about that. The ticket sales, the time when the tickets will be bought has changed massive. to later points. That's not good for the conventions.
Yeah.
When you have, there was this point 1 month before the GalaCon, we have not so much tickets. No, it doesn't. There was not so, the numbers was not so good 1 month before the GalaCon, and then in the last week, ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Yeah, it's good to hear that we are not alone.
Every meetup and convention has this problem. Every.
And I've heard also about the music festivals and theaters experience exactly the same thing. The 1 month before, there is a spike in ticket sales, and then it goes steep, which is crazy.
At day one of the ticket sales, and then. So please buy your tickets earlier, please.
Right, first I want to say thank you for a wonderful panel. Secondly,
You're
how
welcome.
long does it take from a panel application going into to a final decision being reached and everything being, hunky-dory? Hey, we have a new panel.
I didn't understand the question, or?
From someone sending in an application to do a panel, how long does it take for everything to be in order, like panel applicant and
I know what you mean.
Until a final decision has been reached, a contract is signed, and everything is perfectly fine, nothing will go wrong, the building won't burn down.
There are 3 different types of panelists. The first one is like Bexy, we know her. She comes 2 months before the con or something. Oh, I forgot, sorry. And we say, yeah, it's okay, send us all information, we put you in. It's done, the contract was finished. It was like, because of her late responses, it was a month. Then are these types of panelists who ask, hey, I'm new, I have this, and you answer him at each time of the day, middle of night, or if fresh in the morning. I work in shifts, so it's possibly that I write you in the middle of the night, and you become instantly a reply. Every time, greetings to Victory Moon. So that was a fast process, like a week, because he was new. And then we have Muffin Carton from social media for Bronies. I know her in real life. So, yeah, of course in real life. I know her in person. And she sent us the application, and I wrote her, so please give me the advertisement text, you needed materials, that was already in the application, it was perfect. And your address for the contract, for your soul, and everything what I needed. She answered me with that, and this thing was gone in 1 day. It belongs, when we have a panel, we don't know the panelist. Like Tales of Equestria this time from Victory Moon, we doesn't know, what is this panel? Is that possible? It was an RPG game with the whole crowd. Okay. Is that possible in 1 hour? Is he sure? We have many questions. So it was good he answered in the moment I asked. We decided to make that, and it was good, I heard. It was a good panel. It was a good decision. So yeah, it's common for the panelists how fast they can answer and how much time we need to make a decision for that. So there's still one question. Sorry for my bad English, but that's right.
No problem. I have I think, 2 questions. First, if someone wants to start with the international convents, like you know, someone has a few local conventions in his country, and someone wants to go a little bit higher. Is it better to modify your pre-existing cons, or just project a new one, just for the set of being international? So basically English.
When your local event is mentioned in the international way, it can be possible they think, it's only a local meetup, so I don't have to go there. In this way, you can make a complete new one. But when you have the new one, you have your free existent little meetups and you can push it with them. So it belongs what the meetup does before. When you completely change your idea, the structure and everything there, it is probably better to make it under a new name. When we at Derbyfest had, we evolved to a convention too, for a little local one, because we have guests, we have panels. At the first one, it was, we have a maid cafe, we have drinks and party. But we have this in the other years where we called us a convention too. So we make little changes like, so now we have right panels and something and vendors already, and called us then a convention. It worked, but it was a local German event only, so we only have 200.
I see, thank you.
Who is responsible for the screens outside the panel rooms that tell you what is happening?
That is a volunteer.
That's GalaCon.
I love him for that.
Can we borrow them?
Maybe when he was... I see, no.
No. They're really cool. I like them.
I'm the wrong person for that, but I like these things too. So, we're finished? Perfect. So, thank you, and I hope to see you again.